Here's the Issue is an opinionated program based on the information we had readily available to us at the time of the recording, and not necessarily the views of any sponsors. We acknowledge that by its very nature, the information we release may be susceptible to updates and redactions, and we will readily perform them as needed. I'm Samantha Chips.
And I'm Sheppy.
Here's the issue.
Parties during COVID. We're not going to talk about our views on them, and we're not going to pretend like they don't happen. Here's the story. In a country that we will not disclose, a party happened. The police came to shut it down. So far, nothing too out of the way yet, right? But then the police decided that they were going to take the names, ages, and addresses of the attendants. Can't argue the law on that. So far, no lawyer, and I don't know how that stuff works. Now, here's the issue. Someone got the idea to video record the names, ages, and addresses of 14 young girls. And it gets leaked to the public. We're in Jamaica and we're seeing this. They didn't just have their privacy discarded. Now any psychopath can just look at the video and get to pick, choose, and refuse whether they want to target these girls for anything. I don't even know what can be done to fix the situation, if I'm being honest. But in terms of repercussions, what are the options, really? Some type of class action lawsuit against the police department? How feasible is that for them? I hope some law firm would take up this case for them pro bono, but that's a lot of hoping. And what does that even change about anything?
Okay. I had to take a deep breath before bringing my points forward, because one, I'm really upset about what happened. I am appalled at how the police of the unnamed country actually went about collecting the data and how it even became public information to begin with. Why was the information recorded? Why wasn't it taken down? Okay, we can say it's laziness, we can say it's negligence, we can say it's abuse of power, we can just say it was for their own entertainment. Who knows why? Point is, video is out.
It happened.
It happened.
I don't care why.
Right.
I care that the fact that it happened, and I'm holding them responsible.
Okay, we the Jamaicans are holding them responsible.
No, I'm not speaking for all the Jamaicans.
Okay, we are holding them responsible. Why isn't the country where it happened holding them responsible? Why isn't this a bigger issue there? Why, when I read the news there, I don't see it as a part of their news? Why is it not bigger than it is, given that it is a severe situation where 14 girls under 20, you said, right? Their information is out there, where they live, their names, their ages, and the video, of course, provided what they look like.
Right.
I don't know, why aren't the people angry?
Right, like, first let me just say, and I want to say this being as protective as possible, the people who told me the story, they didn't sound angry per se, they sounded hurt. People that you're supposed to trust, to protect, and serve are the ones causing the freaking problem right now.
Yes, but they're the police. Do we expect anything better?
Yes.
You do?
Of course.
In 2021, you expect something better from the Babylons, from the police. You expect them not to abuse their power. You expect them
Hold on. Don't put words in my mouth. No.
I'm just saying there are expectations here that I don't have, so I just want to be sure of what your expectations are.
I don't think they set out to put these girls at harm like that. I believe that some laziness happened.
Instead of writing down,
You
let's
understand?
record. Okay.
And that happened, right? I think they knew better, but I don't think they really understood the potential dangers of what they did until after that. I still think they're responsible, but I do expect better than them to deliberately put our young women of the region at harm's risk. I do think better of them than that.
Well, that's a lot. That's more than what I have over here as my personal expectations for the police in any country. I don't believe that the proper people are in these positions as police. I don't believe that these police were trained in especially dealing with people, not in terms of dealing with criminals or what are, just dealing with civilians.
Civil arrest and all that.
Right, just dealing with people in a civil manner. I don't believe that they were abreast or taught properly how to handle people, because that just felt very demeaning to me, because they're adults. Those weren't children, those were adults. And it was more like,
no,
what's your name? Say your name. Say your da-da-da-da-da. It didn't feel very...
Even if it's a child, you don't talk to a child like that.
Right, you don't.
And those were basically kids.
I mean...
They were like 18, 19, 20. It's a kid.
Yeah, they're young adults.
Part of me feels like this shouldn't really be any of my business. But like the other part of me feels like the only reason half these type of things even happen and people get away with them is because we as a region don't really know what's happening with our brothers and sisters. That's
because our brothers and sisters keep their business to themselves. Because as you said, you got this information through a friend. It wasn't on the news. It wasn't... it wasn't something that the whole community was up in arms about, and it became national news and thus we heard as Jamaicans. No.
To be fair, though, right?
We get why now. Information is in the video and they don't want to publicize that even more. Or
not just that, but it's like I heard from a friend, but it's not like I had access to their local news station. I don't actually know what's going on.
You don't know if they had...
I don't actually know that.
Okay.
Right? What I do know is that we're not talking about it here. I know our local news stations aren't talking about it. Like, this isn't a regional issue.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
But I feel though we don't have videos for each country to say, okay, they're doing this in each country in the Caribbean. I feel like it happens. I feel like it isn't special to this country. It happens here.
Wait, what happens here?
Police abusing their power and doing things that aren't protocol, you know?
That's a worldwide issue.
Right. I don't think it was a direct thing either, like you mentioned. You mentioned
no,
it
wasn't intentional.
Right,
it's direct.
Right. They did it because they
Literally
were
because
lazy.
of what you did. They're now at risk.
They're now at risk. You know what I don't find in the Caribbean? We don't really blame our police for shit.
You know what I'll say? We don't hold them accountable.
That's the thing. There's no blame, so there's no accountability. You don't tell them you fucking around, you're messing up, you're not doing right. No, we hear, oh, the police are doing what they can. Curfew now. The people them locked down. The police them out there are doing what them supposed to do. No, they're not. They're standing up looking cute beside their green bikes. That's what they're doing here, as far as I know, right? And wherever else the crime rate isn't great, I feel like the police, they're just lacking.
Right, see, what I'm trying to avoid doing is like putting our whole Jamaican framework on the rest of the region, like we know it that well.
I don't feel like any one of them in the Caribbean, they're that great in terms of, you know, their crime either. So something wrong with the police system here. Something's wrong.
So when you just look at everything, majority of these girls weren't even older than 20. What are they supposed to do? Contact the police? They contributed to the problem already. They already showed they haven't done enough to protect them.
Yeah.
Move? Move where?
Can't move go nowhere.
With who? In a pandemic?
Who gonna pay for it?
In a pandemic? You think grandma gonna let you move in with her during a pandemic? When she know you're going out unfit?
Listen, man, the information is out there. Nobody's going to fix it. Nothing's going to get better. Nothing's going to get done. It is a dream to think anything is going to come out of this.
I don't go so far and say that though. A dream? Nah.
Oh, so the government is going to fund housing for these people?
I never said the government.
Okay, so who? The people?
I never said that.
No, they're going to remain where they are and everybody just going to know where them live.
Oh, that's what you mean. What I'm getting at is like the fact that better can't come from this. Being a dream, that's what I said now.
Oh, no. Better can come from it. It's a lesson. Maybe it's a lesson for the students who would have been caught during COVID having a party or going to a party.
Yes, yeah.
And it's a lesson for the police who would have...
What I'm hoping comes across though is this... the Caribbean, where we have a type of people that don't want to take the kind of bullshit, yeah. We have a type of people that not afraid to rise up.
You feel so? I feel like as a society we've become very nonchalant.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't think we're that far from it, you know. I think with the right push, we can really just rise up. So Samantha,
yes.
Serious question. After all of this, what next? What can we do? What can they do?
We can't do nothing. All we can do is report on it and, you know, voice our disdain from across the sea.
And hope for the best. I mean.
Hope for the best, you know. All the information was out there. The girls' lives were put at risk. They can't undo that. So I don't think there's anything they could do to make it any better.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's depressing.
It is what it is.
No.
You don't think?
No. It's that type of sentiment that causes the shit to keep happening.
You want to defund the police? I'm done. Okay, I'm done.
You want the police come kill me?
That shit don't work in the Caribbean, defunding the police.
You have to fund them first.
Yeah, you know, shit. We never paid. That's why them so angry now. That's why they shorthand their work.
That's why
they don't get paid.
That's why they're scamming me back. But
they're scamming us.
Here's the issue. For the next segment, here's the story. A man gets held at knife point, humiliated, robbed of everything he has, manages to escape, goes to the police station. They laugh at his ordeal, traumatizing him further as he limps on his way home. Now here's the issue.
Here's my issue. You're going to rob me, you're going to take my clothes, you're going to take all my belongings, but you don't take my chicken.
It wasn't even his chicken, it was a chicken he was saving for his mother.
And that cow chicken for his mother. And the man, he took his chicken and took a bite of it in front of him and said, verbatim, "This is mine now." Right? I think that's what he said. Maybe I shouldn't say verbatim. He said something along those lines.
That's exactly what he said.
Know, this is mine now. Can you imagine a man robbing you and take a bite of chicken, looking you square in the eyes? This is mine now. This man is trying to, he's trying to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Emasculate you?
It's not
Dehumanize you?
It's not dehumanize.
Humiliate
it's like shrink you in a way where he's exalting his power over you then.
Okay.
He has a knife, he has your clothes, and he now has your chicken. What more you can do? What can you do to this man? That's no taking a bite of chicken in front of you.
I mean, the story
with your
got
clothes
worse.
on.
The story got worse.
How'd it get worse?
Remember when he took off his shirt and threw it in his face?
Oh yes. Took off his dirty shirt and threw it in his face.
And then tell the guy to take off his shirt and then take it and say, this is mine now.
This is mine now.
I don't know any other word to describe that other than humiliating.
This story, honestly, from a civilian point of view, I can laugh because it's funny. Shouldn't laugh because at the same time it's not. The police know. The man goes to the police station and they laugh.
Now, that's the issue though.
That's the issue.
When you're a victim of a crime, you're in an emotionally volatile state.
Yes.
You're clearly traumatized. I'd be traumatized by that. Holy
Yes,
shit,
yes.
the man thief all my chicken.
All your chicken, brother. All right, yes, you go to this place where they're supposed to protect you and serve you and comfort you and tell you
They're
to calm
supposed
down.
to do something.
Something, but not
But he said they won't even
laugh.
take your statement though. They were just making you look stupid.
The man said they couldn't even take up a pen and paper without giggling and laughing. Like they didn't really want to help. They thought it was more funny than a serious matter. Right? But it's serious. You got robbed. Robbery is always serious, no matter how it took place, no matter if there was chicken involved or not. Or, stripping you down to nothing, because the man did say he felt bare right after the ordeal. Right? And he felt, at the end, he said he felt heavy and was questioning whether or not his life will continue hereafter because of an anxiety attack that took place. And I'm
Not just
I'm
that, he
guessing
said the
that
people knew his identity now.
oh, the people knew who. Okay, right. So he's now worried for his
He's
life.
worried and concerned.
Right. I can understand that, and the police should have taken it way more seriously. I can understand that it's funny. You can laugh behind closed doors.
In fact,
Nobody's perfect.
I'll go so
Don't
far and
laugh in
say,
a
yo,
man's face.
you get to do the initial chuckle, but you have to take the statements.
You know? But
Yeah.
I don't think I would chuckle in front of his face.
No,
No,
man, you
I
have to-
keep a straight
No, you
face,
have to
a
do the initial.
professional face.
You have to do the initial chuckle because you must think he's joking. Because this whole story sounds comical.
As a human being, I feel like, yes, we all have that.
But
that,
when you
that's,
realize that
you
he's
know,
serious, like this really happened to him, that's when you have to treat the whole situation seriously.
like, all right, sir, it's quite funny in a certain sense. Or you don't even say it. You just chuckle for real. Just chuckle, move on. All right, let's take the statement now and see what we can do. Give a description of whoever, and let's go to the shop and question people who were there. Matter of fact, did we mention that there was a girl who came and said
That wasn't part of the issue. That wasn't part of the issue
it
for me.
felt like a setup. Don't trust people is the point here. The girl came and just started talking to him, and it was almost like she knew him, but he wasn't sure, it would seem. I'm not sure if he knew her.
The limited amount of things I know about Guyana, that place can turn into the Wild West fast.
I mean, yes. But the mere fact that everybody disappeared from around him and he was the only one standing there, including that girl who came to say hi,
Listen, from it goes so
who
far.
pointed out that there are two teeth there come. That's what she said, something along the lines.
From it
right?
went so far as to say, the bus driver said, "Man, nah, carry home because you left one left in the bus."
Dog.
So you couldn't carry me back where you picked me up from.
You know?
The whole story sounds sad. Like,
Policing is an issue, right, across the Caribbean that we need to look deeper into. Different issues across different countries, but issues nonetheless. Like laughing in front of a civilian's face, coming to you with an issue is an issue.
we're only talking about this because we wanted to share the fact that this is what police are really doing in the region in 2020, 2021. This is what's really happening. And I don't want to say all police are the same or connected,
Of course not.
but the standard that we all hold them at to protect and serve the community. They are police officers.
Telling you're the only one with this imaginary standard.
You don't hold police officers at the standard.
I don't. I'm from Jamaica, where I'd rather call the bad man in the community to help me out than the police.
Okay.
That's my reality.
Fair.
Yeah. Because where I'm from, my reality is the police come after the ordeal. So you can call and say, there's a shooting happening right now. I need help. Come and save me. Okay, ma'am, we'll be on our way. An hour later, they arrive to take the statements and to look at the dead bodies. They're not coming during. They're not going to. So that's my reality. in these other countries, I can see the issues socially and where the police is concerned that differ from Jamaica's.
But even what you just said, though, you see, they still come after the fact and then they take the statements and they do something. They do something. So you do have that expectation of them. You have that expectation of them. This guy didn't even do that.
I feel like they were going to get to it after the laugh.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why you think so?
Because it's protocol. You get to it after.
Protocol.
All right, I feel like they don't follow protocol outside of the department so much, but inside the department, I feel like there are too many eyes for them to avoid taking down the statement. They can't pull out the phone and record you like the previous segment we just covered.
Too many eyes.
Too many eyes.
You see, you're using Jamaican context.
What?
Guyana doesn't have as much people as Jamaica in it, you know. And it has a whole lot more space.
So you're saying there aren't good police officers within that department who would have judged that police officer for not following protocol?
I'm just saying that, there aren't as many people as watching them as you think they are.
Even so,
they have a lot of free reign.
Even so, I still believe that there's a good police officer that would call them out for not following protocol.
Sure, in that police station? At that point in time, no, I don't think so.
We will never know. We weren't there.
True. True.
Okay. All right. So, what do we think? How do you fix the issue of
that
not being sensitive?
Type of issue, stems from a bunch of other issues.
Yeah.
Like what's going on over there that, like for me to report a crime and you would just say it's a joke. Like that's your first reaction because of how I turned out, how I escaped from the crime. See, that makes me ask like a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Like if I said a man pull a gun on me and you ask me how come I'm not shot. Fuck you.
You know?
Like, why the fuck are you doing nothing else other than ask me why am I not shot?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just lucky, huh?
I think we can criticize these police officers for laughing, but we can't criticize them for having a sense of humor. The situation in writing is funny, and I feel like if you should hear it, it'd be funny. But as a police officer, there's a protocol and there's a certain level of professionalism that they should have followed.
That's the issue.
They
didn't follow it.
They didn't follow it.
They did nothing
but
humiliate the guy further who's just been traumatized.
Get it. Completely get it. So, should we chastise them?
Of course. We should chastise them for their unprofessionalism.
We're doing that. We're chastising them for their unprofessionalism.
We're contributing to trauma to this youth.
Contributing to the trauma of this youth. Right. How are we helping? We're contributing to the trauma of this youth.
We are contributing?
I feel so. We're here laughing and stating that we have an issue with it, but at the same time, we're not laughing. The issue is the man's chicken. That's where I'm upset. I know I'm upset at the whole thing. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny.
You can't say it's not funny after saying the man ate the man's chicken.
But the man ate the man's chicken. Zane, all right, listen. There's not much we can do. We can just say we're disappointed in the policing. And we wish him all the best in his healing process.
Not much we can do.
Nothing much. What can we do? We're going to protest from here?
Police fail to report the fact that you're reporting a crime. They refuse to take your statement.
Well, if when I read the article, it's not like they weren't getting to it, They were just laughing for too long. They weren't getting to it quickly enough, right? So he got his things and he got out of there. Like he couldn't handle the laughter and the giggles.
You know they were getting to it.
Well, he did say they were taking a long time to take up the pen and paper, but they did.
That didn't sound expressive to you? Well, fine.
We weren't there. We can only assume.
You guys in the comments will post that link in the description to the article. You tell us what you think. I think he was complaining about the fact that y'all never even reached for the pen and paper. Y'all just started asking me this bunch of questions. That's stupid, and you wanted to humiliate him further. I wonder if there were any other factors involved. I'm even wondering if these police even knew the criminals.
You can't rule anything out at this point. You can't rule it out. You just assume.
I don't know what other factor, social-cultural factor was taking place there.
We don't live there. We don't know. We can only assume yet again or go off hearsay.
There are things I hear about Guyana.
Right, hearsay. We don't know. We don't know. Again, can only wish him the best and, that he heals from the experience and won't be, opposed to calling the police when something else, if something else should happen to him.
Never call the police again.
You don't think so?
Never.
Okay. Well, then he needs to get in touch with that bad man.
Probably could.
We're going to defend him.
He probably have to, honestly.
Oh my God.
Take his chances there.
Take your chances there. That is so sad.
Yes. You see the problem though?
Yeah, we pay our tax dollars for this. Now we're going to find bad man on our own. I don't like that.
It's funny initially,
then it gets sad.
Then when you really read into it, it's like, yo, this is really depressing.
Yeah.
This is emasculating, dehumanizing.
Tax dollars going to waste.
This is just from the robbery standpoint, that type of robbery, though.
Yeah.
They didn't just take your things and left, They stayed there with you. They run you down. They have you think you're gonna die.
They ate your chicken.
Just did everything they can to make you feel like nothing.
Yeah.
And then when you manage to get away, you go to the police because that's what you're supposed to do.
And
You get that.
Well, there was a silver lining in the story, if you remember, when he ended up beside a shop. That person asked him if
and
he
the
needed
businessman
help.
helped him.
Right. So there are good people out there. If you can't find good cops, you find good civilians. Silver lining.
It's a really thin silver lining.
Well, the line is there as long as it's not a faint line that you can't see it at all.
Yeah.
There's hope yet for policing in the Caribbean, though. Tell us what you think about the issue. Leave a comment and we can talk about it. Follow us on Instagram at Here's the Issue Official and on our Twitter at Here's_the Issue. Like, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel.